What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Dime Droppers playoff recaps for the 2021 NBA playoffs. This time, it's the second round. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, and, of course, to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. I just posted a TikTok today. It was just a video from the vlog that is out on my channel for Game 7. If you have not seen it yet, go watch it. There's some great footage in there, including the finishing touches on what was a fantastic series. The best series of the first round, I'd say. But I know some people would go with that Blazers-Nuggets series, which I still haven't given you guys the full recap of, what I think of the Blazers elimination. And the truth be told, I haven't watched Game 6 yet. So the next time you see me, probably tomorrow, definitely tomorrow night after the Clipper game ends, I will be talking about the Nuggets and Blazers probably as well. So just give me a little chance with that, because I want to harp on the Blazers, because there's going to be a lot of talk about Dame this summer and what the next step is for that team. So for tonight's recap, we're going to talk about the Bucks-Nets first two games. I didn't talk about their first game, so I'm going to talk about them both together, and they kind of, there was a lot of similarities between the two games. And then I'm going to talk about the Suns just defeating the Nuggets just now. A huge win for the Phoenix Suns, again, starting out their series with a dub. And then I'll briefly go over the Clippers and the Mavs, anything I didn't say either on Twitter or in the vlog itself. I'll talk about Clippers, Mavs, and we'll preview the Jazz series. But here we are, live in Los Angeles as usual, not Cancun, where the Lakers and the Miami Heat are enjoying some beach volleyball at night. So let's get to it. Let's start with the Bucks and the Nets, right? So you guys remember you were asking me about this series. I said it was going to be Nets in 7. But the injury to James Harden, I figured maybe that would change some things in favor of Milwaukee. I couldn't have been more wrong. In the first game after he went down, KD and Kyrie just started taking over the game. And Blake Griffin, my guy, BG, my man, Blake, was throwing himself all over the place like it was 2015. It was incredible. And that's why Clipper fans love Blake so much. It's not just because of the electrifying dunks. It's not just because he was a Clipper from the day he was drafted. It's because he would make those plays that got the crowd going. I remember being at so many games where Blake Griffin would throw his body out there. And I'm going to be real with you. Blake Griffin works hard, but he's not no crazy workhorse the whole game. He just has moments, though, where he'll just throw himself on the court. And those moments can energize a team. They can change momentum. And you know why I think he did that? Not just because it's playoff basketball. Because he didn't do it in the first round against Boston. In fact, he looked pretty terrible against Boston at various points of the series. It's because he was getting more shots. He was touching the ball more. He was getting open looks. And I just think that this team, it makes me so angry, because I actually would have really liked, and I was so looking forward. Remember, they were a dime dropper team for a reason in the beginning of the season. I wanted to watch Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant take on the league together, just like LeBron and Kyrie Irving, with a good supporting cast, with LeVert, with Jared Allen. They had to go ruin everything by getting James Harden. And that makes me hate them, and that makes the league, that makes them an enemy to the league, in my opinion, because they're the most dominant super team in the league right now, and they're in a situation right now where if they don't win the championship, it's an embarrassment, in my opinion. Even though they've only played 7 games together in the regular season, I just think, as I've said so many times, there are no great teams in this league right now. Like the Lakers, when healthy, maybe, and then the Nets. I think everybody else is a good team. You know what I'm saying? Because even the Jazz, the best team in the regular season, they have one star, and we don't even know if he's a superstar. He's going to be Donovan Mitchell, but right now he's a star, and Rudy Gobert is a star who, quite frankly, in the playoffs, in the past, has looked, suspect. Let's put it that way. But it makes me so angry, because I know that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are capable of going to a championship level and being a contender with the two of them. So to see, it's just annoying, because the ball moves so much better without Harden. Because that's just another guy that's going to pick and roll. And when he gets a switch, he's going to ISO and dribble. You know how it goes. Tween, cross, tween. Without him, and Kevin Durant is just such an easy player to play with. That's why he fits so seamlessly wherever he goes, because he doesn't hold the ball too long. He moves the ball. He moves without it, and he operates from so many different spots on the court, which makes him very easy to play with. Kyrie Irving, Not as much, except for when he's the number 2 guy like he is now, and he's out there just to score, not lead a team, not be a floor general like he was asked to be in Boston. He's elite as it comes. Because those two, man, they're unguardable. Even for guys like Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Chris Middleton, who contained your Jimmy Butlers, who contained your Tyler Heroes. This is a whole different caliber of skill here that we're dealing with Kyrie and Kevin. And they just make it look so easy. So, the Nets clap them, and you figure that Bucks are going to respond with something better tonight in game 2. As pathetic a performance as I could have imagined. Almost as bad as the Heat's performance in game 2 against them. I mean, the way that they came out, rushing every possession, chucking up the first look they got. That wasn't even a good look. Semi-contested, just not working the ball around at all. Particularly Chris Middleton, who started out 0 of 7, and then he ended the game 7 of 13. I mean, cool. Good for you, Chris. You were the guy that I've been saying isn't the problem with this team. You're good enough to be a second guy if Giannis develops into that first guy that can lead a team to a championship. Well, right now I'm looking wrong because that pitiful start to the game from Chris Middleton. And then, we've got Giannis. He can't even post up Blake. Like, he can't even score on Blake in the post. Blake, who is not a horrendous defender, but by no means is he elite. Like, this is a guy, I watched him for 8.5 years on my team. He would get dogged by Zach Randolph and like certain guys like that. He's strong, but if you have the right mix of skill and strength in the post, he ain't nothing special to deal with. And Giannis is out here losing the ball. He's out here missing jumpers. I mean, it was pretty impressive from Blake, I have to say, but more disappointing in Giannis. And just the way that these Bucks started rushing possessions, especially Chris Middleton, who had the worst plus-minus of anyone in the game, minus 30. I mean, it was so rushed. And then Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are just in their bag from the beginning of the game, especially Kyrie, just dancing around, scoring. And another thing about Kyrie, just like Kevin, he can score from everywhere on the court. He's so comfortable in the mid-range area. He's so comfortable with floaters with either hand. I mean, he has counters to his counters. Like, he'll cross over, you jump that way, he'll go back the other way, then he'll step back. Like, he's just got answers to everything. Sometimes he can dance a little too much. Sometimes he can, for example, he sometimes will overcomplicate things. Like, there was one possession in the first quarter where he had a wide open layup with his right hand on the right side, and he switched to the left just to make it look all fancy, and Giannis pinned him. And that just switching hands gave Giannis that half a second to make up the ground. But regardless, the ground that the Bucks couldn't make up was their deficit that they put himself in the first quarter. And Joe Harris, Blake, Bruce Brown, all these guys are making shots. Even Shamet came in and started making shots. And right now, this Nets team is brimming with confidence. Their ball movement is so much better without Harden. It's just not even funny. It's so much more enjoyable to watch them play. And I would just love it if this was their team. And KD with his double crossovers and just Giannis, who has played great defense against Jimmy Butler. I mean, he is helpless out there against KD one-on-one. And then, on the screen, you start showing Durant more attention. You start showing Kyrie more attention. They make the pass. And this thing about Kevin, his passing ability is underrated. He's 7 feet tall. He can see over the defense. He can see over hedge and recover. You throw 2 guys at him, he makes the pass. Blake Griffin is very comfortable in 4-on-3 settings. He used to do it with DeAndre Jordan and find him for lobs all the time. He's finding Joe Harris in that corner spot. He's knocking down threes all day. And Joe Harris was even, coming off the three-point line and finishing reverse layups. He was 5 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, and had 13 points. So 13 points from Joe Harris. Then you get 13 points from Bruce Brown, who got 3 offensive rebounds as well, 6 total, 4 assists, hitting one-handed floaters. And, the Bucks were in such panic mode, they started going into a zone. And then he started carving that apart. Like, and this is the second postseason in a row here where Mike Budenholzer needs to be held accountable for the decisions he makes, the way he coaches his team. They were not prepared. This was Ty Lue in the Mavs series, even worse maybe. They were not prepared. They had no answers for anything. Their offense is so stupid. The Bucks basketball IQ is down the toilet. They're dominant. Or their advantage in this series, as Shaq said, is with their size. They got to pound the ball into Lopez, into Giannis in the post. And there were times where they were getting the ball to Lopez, and, I thought he made some nice jump hooks here and there, but not enough. Kevin Durant did a really good job on him, I'll say. For certain possessions, KD was getting physical. I mean, here's the thing, though. Jeff Van Gundy talks about this all the time, and I couldn't agree more with it. In this modern NBA, size at times can be punished. They don't give the big guys posting up or anyone posting up the same benefits they give a hand check on the perimeter. Perimeter guys have such an advantage when they want to officiate it that way. And I'm not saying the officiating cost the Bucks the game, but I do think there were times when the Nuts were making their run that the Bucks just didn't get calls that they deserved. That, Brooke and Giannis were battling in the post and they didn't get much. And I think that when you ref a game that way, it can be very advantageous to a team like Brooklyn. And I hope that changes. I hope that the Nets or the Bucks will get rewarded. But they weren't pounding it inside enough. Quite frankly, they get baited into so many threes, and they just aren't hitting right now. I mean, yeah, they didn't even shoot 33s today. They kind of chilled in the second half, and it didn't really matter. They were just out of the game. 8 of 27 from 3 for the Bucks. The only person that shot remotely solid from there was, I guess, Brook Lopez, 2 of 3, Drew Holiday, 1 of 2 from 3, and then Bryn Forbes, 2 of 4. But overall, they were just outworked, out-hustled. They were intimidated. They were rattled. They were rushing, panicking. And you know where I noticed they were panicking? When Giannis started dribbling the ball up the court and going back to what we saw in the bubble, and exactly what we said was the difference in the last series against Miami. The Bucks did so much better with Holiday running the point and Giannis setting screens. And again today, when they start panicking, they revert to Giannis bringing the ball up the court and trying to charge into guys with his half-back dive. I mean, it's mindless basketball. It's just not what works. That Giannis charging down the middle shit will work against your regular season teams with no interior defense. The Nets, they're on a championship charge here. They're going to try to win it all. They're not going to just let Giannis just charge in. Blake Griffin is strong. He's backing up on Giannis, daring him to shoot. And this guy, Giannis, can't even make a mid-range jump shot. It seems as though I may have overestimated Giannis' improvement in that first series, because now that he's playing against a real team, no offense to the Heat fans, a real team this year with aspirations to win the championship and the talent to boot, he is looking, again, exposed. And I'm not saying this all on Giannis. A lot of it's on Bud. Middleton especially. He's been the most disappointing player in this entire series so far. I mean, let's look at his stat line tonight. I already said the plus-minus was minus 30. He finished with 17 points on 7 of 20 from the field. That's 35%. 3 of 8 from 3. And let me also tell you this. The Bucks got to the line 9 times. 4 of 9. You think you're going to beat the Nets in a playoff game on the road when you only shoot 9 free throws and their biggest weakness is interior defense? 9 times? Yeah, I get it. Nicky Claxton is a good alternative for DeAndre Jordan, somebody who's athletic and lively. He'll block some shots. He had a block tonight. He had 4 points, 4 boards off the bench. That's not excusable. He only's playing 14 minutes. They're running with Blake Griffin out there at the 5 for the majority of the game, or KD at the 5, what have you, and to only get 9 free throw attempts. And then Giannis shot 7 of those free throws and made 2 of them. So Giannis finished with 18 and 11. That's not going to cut it. His efficient field goal, 8 of 15 because he shoots easy shots. Just terrible. Just terrible overall. For Milwaukee, just mindless basketball. They need to really change up and go back to what they were doing against Miami offensively. And that is, and no, more so in this series. They can't rely on the 3 ball. They got to pound. If KD's guarding Brook Lopez, just feed him the ball and see if you can get him in foul trouble. Put pressure on him. I know Brook Lopez is not the Brook Lopez he was in Brooklyn. I understand. But what other choices do you have? You cannot beat this team in a 3-point shootout. You can't, or a jump shooting game. You cannot. No team in the league is going to be able to do it. You can't do it. And I'm going to say this, though. They could try to put Giannis at the 5 and try to switch everything themselves. But the problem with switching everything on the Nets is nobody can guard Durant and Kyrie one-on-one in the league, in the world, on the planet. So you can switch everything all you want. There's no one-on-one matchup for them. So you're screwed. You're screwed. It's just nothing you can do. You have to just try to play your best defense. So whatever. Let's read the lines for the Nets because they just completely ran away with it. Kyrie Irving, 22 points, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. And then Kevin was just guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. It looks like he's still the best player in the NBA like he was in 2019, and we just had a year off and LeBron took that mantle back. But shit, if we're being quite honest, KD may have been the best player in the league for a couple of years now. But because he was on the Warriors, we didn't get to see him put in a situation that LeBron was. But his confidence is higher than it's ever been now because he's older and more battle-tested. But, I mean, I can tell KD studies film because the way he doesn't overdo anything. And that's the main key when Will came on the podcast in our Dime Dropper featuring episode and talked about, by the way, if you guys haven't watched my episode with Will Johnson from Oregon, he trained with a bunch of NBA. I mean, he played with Peyton Pritchard, Bull, Troy Brown Jr., trained with Kuzma. His grandpa's the Marcus Johnson of the Milwaukee Bucks, number retired, should be in the Hall of Fame. Go listen to what he said about, the people overdoing it. And players in the past, that was their thing, is, never overcomplicating things. And Kevin Durant is straight out of that mold of never overcomplicating things. And it's easy when you're 7 feet tall and can shoot the ball like that. I mean, Kevin Durant, I'm not going to say he's the best player in the league, definitively. But right now he is looking like that, alongside Kawhi. I think those two really stand above the rest. I'd love Steph Curry, but he's just not big enough. And his main thing is being a scorer, and he's a 6'3" guy. So to me, there is some sort of limitation to that in terms of guarding him. Like, for example, you think Dylan Brooks can contain Kevin Durant? Like, at all? He can't. He can try his best. He can't. Same with Kawhi, quite frankly, because he's big. But anyway, KD, he's just playing amazing. And you know what this is doing right now? This is strengthening his legacy right now. Seeing games without Harden, this is a two-star effort with a bunch of role players. And this is what you want to see. So I like what I'm seeing from Kevin right now. It's showing what we wanted to see all season. And the thing is, he was able to cruise by missing so many games and being ready for this playoffs while James Harden did the dirty work, and now he's the one injured. So that's the part where I'm just like not fucking with it. But anyway, KD, 32 points, 12 of 18 from the field. That's 66%. 4 of 6 from 3, 66% from 3. Unbelievable. 32 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds for Kevin. Drew Holiday only had 13 points, but he shot well, 6 of 10. And it's a must-win for the Bucks next game at the Pfizer Forum, and they better do it. They have to. They're not going to go down 3-0, are they? But anyway, let's talk about the Suns and the Nuggets. So I got the Suns in 6 in this series, but I don't think it's going to be easy, right? And in the beginning of the game, somebody that caught my eye was Facundo Campazzo. He was playing really well. He's a crafty little motherfucker. And I've talked about him on this show before, but he has great instincts. He's a foreign player, which doesn't surprise me. If you watch my main video series, Is the NBA Getting Better and Better? I talked about the fundamentals being lost in America and how the international players come in with a little more basketball IQ, a little bit more thinking of the game and fundamentals. And Facundo is one of those guys. I mean, he was getting to the rim. He was so when the Nuggets had some initial success tonight in their hedge and recover defense. The Nuggets always do hedge and recover because they can't switch Jokic onto guards. And their drop coverage is just stupid against certain people. Because when you can't play real help defense, drop coverage is like your guard gets over the screen and your big man is just sagging. So he has a downhill lane to go. He has downhill freedom to go to the basket. So the Nuggets hedge and recover to try to get the ball out of the ball handler's hands, and everybody's ready for that next pass. And Campazzo and certain guys, Aaron Gordon, did a really good job of causing turnovers on Devin Booker in that first half. He had like 4 turnovers in the first half. He finished with 5 turnovers, so he really cleaned it up. But I thought the Nuggets got some initial success with that. But I really, really enjoyed the big man battle that we saw tonight between Ayton and Jokic. And you know what? I've been watching Ayton all season long. We've been talking about it all season. If you've been watching my channel, the Suns were a dime dropper team. And I talked about how Ayton can be a little bit soft, a little bit timid. But in this playoffs, he's played like the DeAndre Ayton I thought that we were getting in the NBA coming out of Arizona. He is looking strong. He is hitting his mid-range. He's shooting with confidence. He's shooting that jump hook with confidence. He's running down the floor, going right to the basket. I love it. Jokic does it too. And this is a sign of a great big that knows what to do. And if you're in transition and you got anybody other than your center matchup on you, you go right down to that restricted area and you call for that ball. Chris Paul will find you. Quick turn layup. Jokic got a couple times. He got it a couple times against smaller guys in the Suns in that first half, but Ayton did the same thing as well. And I thought that in the beginning, the Suns were rushing their shots a lot. A couple of quick threes, just that adrenaline flowing. You know, that stadium is packed. This is the second round. They haven't been there in a while. But Jay Crowder made some tough shots all night when guys were just like closing out hard and like they weren't even open threes. Like they were off the catch, but the guys were there with a good contest and he was still hitting it. And then Mikal Bridges also hitting shots, and he's his corner specialist. I mean, on 2K, I don't know if he's got that badge right now. They got to give him that corner specialist badge because bro is knocking down his three. His corner three is money. And Jay Crowder and them, they kept him in the game because Chris Paul, he got up to a great start with his passing, but he couldn't hit in the beginning of the game. And, you know, sometimes that shoulder looked like it could be bothering him with long-distance shots. But I thought it was a good first quarter overall. Game was tied at 28. Maga Porter Jr. got off to a solid start shooting the ball. Second quarter, a lot more of the same, even a little game of runs. The Nuggets would start each quarter with some good intensity and go up by like 5-6 points, and the Suns would respond. I thought that Torrey Craig gave some good lift for the Suns off the bench today. You know, he hit 2 threes, and one of them was not easy at all. Top of the key, hand in his face. He had 9 points on 3 of 7 from the field and 2 of 5 from 3 to go along with 8 rebounds as well. But I thought that Booker just started settling in that second quarter. And I thought that he was getting into that mid-range area and knocking down some shots. Chris Paul was making great passes. But I thought for the Nuggets, I thought Paul Millsap gave him a decent lift in that first half as well. 9 points, 4 of 6. And I liked how and I actually was impressed by this. Aaron Gordon had one of the better games I'd seen from him offensively. They were going at Devin Booker in the post and trying to use Aaron Gordon's size advantage to take advantage of Book. And they actually did a good job. He was scoring. He even hit one turnaround over his right shoulder where I've seen him hit him occasionally. There's no consistency to it. But I saw him hit one. I was like, okay, Aaron Gordon. And he was, you know, getting to the line a bit. Actually, no, he only got to the line once. But he had 18 points and 4 boards. And usually if Aaron Gordon has 18 points on 8 of 14 from the field, you'd think that if you're a Nuggets fan, you're feeling pretty good about the game. But I thought the second half is when things started changing. And the Nuggets were up by 9 points in the third quarter. They started out good. Jokic was firing, but Jokic was stuck on 22 points. After that, the game totally changed. And it started with Mikal Bridges making threes, but it really started for me with Devin Booker making better reads in that pick and roll. When the hedge and recover defense is run successfully, they take away the first available pass, which is the pass over the top usually. They make you throw the cross-court pass because I always say this when I coach teams and I coach zones, you force the team to throw the cross-court pass so your defense has time to get over to that pass. Devin Booker made some nice passes. One of them, he was just slaying it across across the court like LeBron to Mikal Bridges in that left corner for a 3. And after that, you know, they're taking away the corners. He makes a pass over the top to Ayton. Ayton goes to Jay Crowder in the corner. They hit a 3, and the floodgates open. And you know what carried that Suns team? The Suns crowd. Shout out to the Suns fans at the U.S. Airways Center. I know right now it doesn't have a name, but when I went there, it was the U.S. Airways Center, so I'm going to call it that, or America West Arena for some people. But that Suns crowd brought the electricity to the game, and that momentum just continued and continued. And Devin Booker made a 3, and then Jay Crowder had a 4-point play. And then the Nuggets just kept shooting themselves out the game. And I thought Jokic was really disappointing in the second half. And I thought that Ayton just did a really good job. And I thought DeAndre Ayton did a great job on pick and rolls too and drop coverage and was able to switch, show on guards, did a really good job. And you know who was really shooting him out the game? I saw my boy Lake Show tweet about it on Twitter. Shout out to Lake Show in the chat right now. Talking about Michael Porter Jr.'s greatest strength is his ability to make tough shots. But his greatest weakness is that he falls in love with these terrible shots and just keeps on chucking, just keep chucking, just keep chucking. And that's all he did. And he still shot the ball well from the field. 6 of 13, 3 of 8 from 3, 15 points. The stat line won't show you that dude was chucking him out the game. But I wasn't really looking at this game from a Nuggets perspective. I think the Suns, this is on the onus of Phoenix to win this series because there's no Jamal Murray. The Suns need to win. And you know what's crazy to think about, guys? Crazy to think about. Who would have ever thought that Chris Paul's potentially best chance to get to the finals would be with the Suns in year 16 of his career. You know, we had 2015. That was a great chance for us to go to the finals. But we still had the Warriors. And then we had 2018. But we still had the Warriors. There is no Warriors. If they beat this Nuggets team, it's Clippers or Jazz. And Chris Paul has an opportunity to make the finals. He's got to get it done here. He's got to get it done here. Because I don't think if he doesn't get it done here, he won't win it unless he goes just dick ride, third option on some super team type of nonsense. At least I think so. Because here's the thing, man. You know, the Suns are getting better. But here's the thing. There's going to be other teams that make moves. Who knows what LeBron's team is going to look like next year? You got to – something I've learned as a Clipper fan, man, you don't get that many chances with a certain team. You got to take advantage of it. And tonight, the Suns did. And they started out the series 1-0, a final score of 122-105. Mikal Bridges, by the way, he was just phenomenal. He does what he does best, moving without the ball, making threes, making the extra pass when need be. And he was also finishing in transition. And he also made some mid-ranges tonight. He's shown signs of that this season where he can sometimes off the catch when somebody closes up too hard, they run him off the line. But he has some ability sometimes to pop and make the mid-range jumper. And he was hitting that tonight. I thought that my player of the game, though, was DeAndre Ayton. 20 points, 10 rebounds for DA, 9 of 13 from the field. That is efficient as it gets. And all the Suns starters scored 14 points or more. That's going to win you a playoff game. Jay Crowder, 14 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3. He continues to ride that high that started in Game 4 against the Lakers. Mikal Bridges, though, you can make an argument he was the player of the game as well. I just thought that Ayton being matched up with Jokic gives him that edge for me. 23 points for Mikal, 8 of 12 from the field. That is 66%. 4 of 8 from 3. That's 50%. And 100% from the line. 3 of 3 to go along with 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Suns defense, they have the best defensive rating in these playoffs, and they showed why tonight. CP3, by the way, oh my God, I almost forgot. CP3 took over this game in the fourth quarter. He was missing easy shots in the third, but that fourth quarter, he started coming off screens, getting into that mid-range area that he loves so much, getting bigger guys switched on to him, and cooking. Then he made a 3, then he got to the rim, and he had the defense in the palm of his hand. Chris Paul, controller of pace, controller of the game, take over player. CP3, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. Thought he had a great game overall. 8 of 14 from the field. Devin Booker, not his best game in the world, but goddamn, he still shot efficiently. And you got to give Aaron Gordon credit. He's a much better defender on Booker than anyone the Lakers had. He's going to make life tougher for him. So he's going to need a little more help from Chris Paul this series, but I think he will get that help as Chris Paul continues to get healthy. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists for Book. He did have 5 turnovers. That's one thing he's going to look at film and try to clean up. But 8 of 12 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3. That's not great. But what I love is that he didn't fall with that 3 ball. 4 of 6 from the foul line. The Suns shot 13 of 34 from 3. So besides those early shots that I thought were a little chucky, they shot 38% overall and limited it. And they shot 17 of 20 from the foul line, 85%. And that was 14 more foul shots than the Nuggets got today. No player on the Nuggets shot more than 2 free throws in the game. They were 5 of 6 from the line. I like it because the refs aren't calling as many fouls. But if you're the Nuggets, you've got to go inside. You're making life too easy for Phoenix. Anyway, that's it for tonight's for that one. Let's talk about the Clippers real quick. So, yeah, guys, I can't believe it. We really did it. We made it through. But now the series, it shifts. We've done nothing so far. This is where it comes down to. This is where the season will either be considered a failure or a success. I can't believe we're back. It's been a long year after that collapse. I've been here so much. Second round. And I always envision what's going to happen if we win and the celebrations and what I'm going to do. And every time I start thinking of that, we lose. And then I just think that we're never going to make it because it seems like a barrier that's harder, as I said in my video, harder than climbing Mount Everest or jumping the Grand Canyon. We got another chance. The Utah Jazz, the scum, my least favorite team besides the Grizzlies all time. We've never lost. The Clippers have only lost to 2 teams multiple times in a playoff series. The Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. 97 and 2017. Obviously, 97 was a year before I was born, but I'm familiar with what happened. But that was the 97 Jazz. We weren't even on their level. 2017, I was at all the home games. That was the only Game 7 that we've ever lost at Staples Center or at home in general. And it stuck. It stuck to me. That was Chris Paul's last series as a Clipper. That was his last game as a Clipper. I want revenge badly. And I know the players don't have that in their minds because they didn't lose to the Jazz. But Paul George did in 2018. And they largely had the exact same team. Royce O'Neal, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. But the one part that scares me about this series, Mike Conley, historic Clipper killer, a thorn in my side and a thorn in my franchise's side since Memphis. It's going to be difficult. The Jazz have a lot more pick and roll threats. There's going to be a lot more to focus on than just Luka. They don't have the best player like Luka. There's not going to be one Luka, but we struggle with Donovan Mitchell in the pick and roll. We struggle with – here's the thing about Zubac, guys. Zubac struggles with lob threats. I've said it all season. He struggles in that pick and roll with Mitchell and Gobert because when he steps up just an inch, that gives Donovan the room to throw that lob to Gobert. And we need to have a lot more Kawhi and Paul George guarding Donovan Mitchell. People said, oh, how do all these guards go up against the Clippers? Do you know why? Because Paul George and Kawhi weren't guarding them much of the regular season. It was a lot of Reggie, a lot of Bev, a lot of Kennard, you know. And we're going to see more Terrence Mann guarding Donovan Mitchell, I assume. So as long as we just put resistance on them over screens, we should. It won't be too bad. But here's my thing: if Zubac starts getting played off the court, this is where we need Serge. If we could really get Serge, our marquee signing in the offseason that we just win a playoff series without, mind you. So no excuses for Dallas this year. There was no, if Porzingis was there, the Clippers would have lost in the first round. Yeah. All those same people that said that, mostly Laker fans, Clipper haters, were the same people saying Porzingis is trash right now. You inconsistent ass motherfuckers. So miss me. I said it last year that fool was not that good. So that's one thing, right? Another thing is this. So the small ball lineup we used to beat the Jazz in our one victory over them this season. I expect us to go to that small ball lineup with Mook and Batum at the 5 as well against them. The only thing is we really need to keep them off that offensive glass. No rebounds, no rings. I said it in my vlog. You saw a couple times the Clippers struggled with that this last series with that small ball unit. And Gobert is a better rebounder than anyone that the Mavericks had. So that small ball lineup could be detrimental at times. So I think this is going to be a much tougher series. I think that this is going to be really difficult because we're coming off a grueling 7-game series that took everything out of us, where Kawhi had to guard the best player and drop 30 points in the 2 last games, while Utah's been basically resting for a week. They're going to have twice as many fans as we're going to have, and it's the second round. And I've been saying all season that the Utah Jazz, if there's a team that will beat the Clippers in the second round, it will likely be them. And here we are. I hope I'm wrong. Here's the thing. Whenever I start thinking that we're going to lose, though, that's when we win. So maybe if I expect the Jazz to win this series, which I do, sue me, we're going to win. Do I think that we have a chance? Duh. Do I think that we should win? Duh. We're the better team than them. Let me not sugarcoat it. We are the better team. We are the Clippers. So I don't know. It's going to be a great series. By the way, I want to just give my parting thoughts on the Dallas Mavericks. A great series. I have no real animosity towards the Mavs. I don't like them, though. I don't like this Mavs team. We played them in the playoffs twice. I'm quite frankly very sick of them. I don't want to see any more Luka Doncic 77 jerseys in the Staples Center as long as I live. So screw the Mavs. Screw you, Dallas fans. And screw all the people that came into my mentions talking trash about how they wanted to see us lose. You guys can suck it. We won. Screw the Mavs. Guess how many teams the Clippers have beaten multiple times in the playoffs? 1. The Dallas Mavericks. Maniac Lane, please deal with those people in the chat right now. Please. Anyway, so yeah. That's it for tonight, guys. By the way, for what does Dallas need to do this offseason? I think that this Rick Carlisle has completely lost the plot. And I think that the system has become very LeBron-like. Ball centered around one guy making all the plays and everybody else being a spot-up shooter. And I told you guys, I preach this on this show all the time, that style will only take you so far. And Porzingis, here's the thing, he sucks. He needs to take more accountability. He needs to get in the post. But he's not even being developed. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to make him a better player. Luka doesn't, he gets guys open shots, but he doesn't make guys that aren't spot-up shooters better. He's a Euro LeBron. He's a Euro LeBron. And right now that needs to change. Because when Luka doesn't have the ball, what happens? Somebody that's not used to running pick and roll that much is running it while Luka stands at half court. That's not basketball. That's not bad. That's pickup ball. And that doesn't work. And eventually, why did Luka get so tired out every second half? Because of that. You put the ball in that guy's hands all the time. He needs to be the one that makes the winning plays. You can't expect those guys to make high-pressure shots when they're not touching the ball for a long time. I saw when Maxi Kleber got the ball in Game 7, every time he touched it, Trey Burke too. The second they touch the ball, they're not making that shot. They're not making it because they haven't been touching the ball. They're human. That system, yeah, it works okay for a little while. It's not going to work to win championships. And here's the thing. They got to bring in guys that can help. Luka doesn't have a bona fide second option right now. Tim Hardaway Jr. is too streaky. He's not good inside the three-point line. He's not very good at creating his own shot at all, and nothing like his dad. And Porzingis is not being developed the right way. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Bring in somebody to help Luka, but you got to change this system. Rick Carlisle's gone way too Gen Z bot. Way too Gen Z bot. So that's what you got to do. That's what they got to do. Anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Now we're going to go to the live chat. Super chat's turned on. Drop $1 if you want. I'll be back live tomorrow after the Clippers and Jazz. To the Dallas fans, the real ones, good series, guys. This isn't a rivalry to me because we beat you twice. So, I don't really have too much animosity. But peace out, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, what the hell is going on? Is this the crew? Is this the crew? By the way, bro, racial slurs in my chat. All right. Yo, Maniac Lane, do your job, buddy. I need all these guys hidden. Every single last one of them. Every single last one of them. This is the group chat. I'm already knowing this is the group chat. You guys are way reckless, bro. I know, bro. I used to wear glasses all my high school life. Sucked. I'm just doing it right now because I'm a little sick. As you can probably tell with my voice, I'm sniffling and stuff. So, all right, hold on. Jesus Christ, do they multiply? Maniac Lane, do your job. I am? Okay, buddy. I can't even see the questions. Not COVID, I have the vaccine. What's my basketball experience? Played my whole life. Coached at the youth level. Played against D1 guys. Not in organized games, really. Only when I was young. Been around hoopers. Trained. I used to train, and I could have been on an AAU team, but it just wasn't a commitment that I wanted to make when I was a kid. I don't know. I just didn't really mess with it. Just traveling all weekend to I would have on most AAU teams probably I would have been a second string player. Depends on the AAU team, quite frankly. But I don't know. I was never really down, so I just usually played. But I used to go to the clinics that SGA and Spencer Dinwiddie's trainers were the trainers for. So I used to see Spencer Dinwiddie at the clinics all the time. But that's my playing experience. I still play all the time now, or as much as I can. Jesus Christ, man. Y'all are ruining my life, bro. Get out. Dude, what is going on here? Yo, this is literally the chat, man. I'm already knowing. Thank you. This is ridiculous. Dude, I can't ban them all. There's so many of them. No. Bro, how many burners do these guys have? I'm not ending the live. Bro. Stop with this Hassan Pinker. I know it's you, the chat. Oh my God, man. Basketball IQ is better than Coach Budenholzer? I wouldn't say that, bro. Top 5 all-time NBA teams? Of course I've played on basketball teams. What are you talking about? All right. I'm just not giving you my locations, you feel? I'm not going to give you guys where and where. Like, I'm not giving you guys that. You guys, the internet's too dangerous. So I'm never going to say where I played. But anyway, what was the question? Top 5 all-time NBA teams? Well, I haven't watched every single team. All right, hold on. This guy's done too. What's it called? Okay, so let's go with like the Warriors. The Warriors are one. The Bulls, 96, 01 Lakers, 87, Lakers, 65 Celtics, 67 Sixers, 72 Lakers, 86 Celtics, 83 Sixers. How about those? Those are some good beats. Bro, this is crazy. Bob McAdoo's a beast. People say that AD is the first big man to have show like guard skills. Dude, I saw Bob McAdoo hit like a tween pull-up. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this is like not documented enough. Yeah, this feels nice. Oh my God. 2016 Cavs. They're not even a top 15, 20. I don't even know if they're a top 20 team of all time. 2016 Cavs, they did league intervention to win a series. And they didn't play any. Oh, no. And they barely won the championship. They're not the best team. No, not even close. The Miami 2013 Heat are better than them. Dude, how many burners? Oh, wait, hold on. I can report them instead. That's better. Just report every single one. All right. These guys are done. This is crazy, though, bro. Their whole group chat's probably in on this. These dudes aren't bots, bro. These are real people. Bro, I feel like they're just spamming. No. You're done. And you're being reported as well. All right, guys. I think I'm going to have to log off. Like, this is just ridiculous. Get your questions out because Nigerian race Nigerian. Oh, my God. This is absurd. Hold on. I need to get a video of this. Bruh. Who is Hassan B? Look at this shit, man. This is wild. How does a stream get botted? No, I do think the Nets are gonna win. They're just ass, bro. They're just ass. Like here's my thing. I get it. My problem is, how is the NBA so bad right now that we don't have a team that has the mix of talent? Nobody can out-talent the Nets, but talent and chemistry. There's no mix. A team that played 8 games together is going to win the championship. That's what we've come to in the NBA these days. Like, no, that's never flying with the Spurs. Like, that's never flying with like the old Mavs, the Lakers with Phil. Like, that shit is not happening. Like Pierce Garnett team, like that's just not flying. So it's weak, bro. It's just so weak. This regardless of the talent, but oh my god, bro, what is this? No, they don't have the talent, Franklin Benjamin. They have chemistry. They don't have the talent. Your best player is Donovan Mitchell. He's not the best player on a championship team yet. He can get there. And I don't even think Rudy Gobert is the second best player on a championship team either. Yeah, Plumber Jim will win a cheap NBA ring. Yo, J Deg, is that Johnny? Plumber Jim? An NBA? Bro, this is trash. What is happening to my life? Targeted? Facts, Raptors Nation. That is a good point about the Nets. Their defense is fascinating because it's basically outscoring the other team and making them feel desperate, forcing them to chuck. Bro, this is wild. Who do you think the Lakers should target to fix their problem at center? I haven't looked at the free agents, but that's Rob Pelinka's job. What do you think is the best balance in the NBA in terms of rules for fouling / playing defense? 90s, 2000s, or 80s? I'd say like the 2000s. 2000s. Like after the hand check rule was like after the hand check rule. Like from 04 like 2000 like 15, 16. Before they started getting really touchy with freedom of movement and landing space. I feel like that's when it was okay. But honestly, I don't mind the old rules. I mean, I love the 80s. I don't agree with you. Cheaters always win about whoever won through the Clippers Masters will run through Utah. Nobody's going to run through Utah. They're a good team. I don't know why you guys are underestimating them so much. They have weapons, and they get hot from three. So I think, and they defend, which they do better than us, to be honest. So like, it's all gonna be. It's gonna take 6 or 7 games to beat them in a series. Guys, I'm done. I have to go off. Think AD should run center and let the Lakers go small? Yes. Honestly, next season, it's time to just put AD at center. He needs to put up with it. If he doesn't want to do it, then he's a loser because he doesn't do anything when he's a power forward. He just stands at the top. Who's my favorite player ever? Chris Paul or Magic? Chris Paul because he has that emotion. Kawhi, if he wins this series, will be my favorite, though. If he wins. He needs to do it. Right now, I don't even like him that much. He's winning me over, though, I'm going to say. This Clipper team, these are the moments that bring you together with the team. When you see them play live in front of you in a Game 7. Because I didn't have that last year. That's another reason why I hated them so much and I was so harsh. I had no connection to them besides that I'm a Clipper fan. Like this exact team, I didn't see them live. It didn't really mean anything. But Magic, in terms of playing style, nobody will ever surpass Magic. No one. He brings every single joy that I would about the game into the court for me. He's like everything I love about basketball in one player. He looks like he's having so much fun when he plays, and he's toying with people, and he makes everyone better, and he pushes the pace, and like he's just the man. Yes, I do remember when Blake and Taylor's mom wore the Clipper Phoenix jersey split down the middle. That was a great time. Do you enjoy? Hey, I think we won, guys. Mod Nick. I could be down to Mod Nick. Do you enjoy hard fouling like in the 90s with the Bad Boy Pistons? Obviously, it wasn't good for the reputation for the league, but it was entertaining as hell for me. I agree with you. Of course, dude. I love watching that shit. It's great entertainment. Really? Hey, yo, Hayden Sigurdsson, which podcast? Was it the Raja Bell one? Because I watched that, and I don't remember him saying that. Tim Duncan said he can't watch NBA right now because the way the post players officiating compared to the perimeter player. Yeah, it's a blatant agenda. But still, though, Jokic and Embiid still get off in the post. So I feel like it's still a little bit of an excuse. I am ready for the Clippers Jazz. Favorite player of all time that isn't a point guard? That's a great question. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin. For sure. No doubt. Wow, we really killed all the bots. Clippers is going to come out of the West easily. Well, all right, I'm just going to not read that comment. Guys, I don't think you understand. This series, to get through it for the Clippers, it is going to take a Herculean effort. It's going to take massive shots made in big pressure situations. It's the second round curse. Guys, this is when the exterior forces come in. This is when the basketball gods rain down on us and do some weird shit. So to overcome that, we're going to have to play amazing. There's nothing easy about this. It's going to take something huge to make it. I promise you, it will not be a cakewalk. Would you bet on the Nets sweep the Bucks without Harden? No, I wouldn't bet on that. I think the Bucks will get a game. I don't know what happened to Taylor Griffin. Kevin Durant, best player in the NBA once again, Michael Ty. I may not have to disagree. We'll have to see, but it's very much so. Kevin Abreu, I know. Some Laker fans are just blaming the whole team and not LeBron. Soft, already capping for their superstar like they always do with Kobe. Never want to blame Kobe for anything, I remember. But Kobe, as I said, he never quit multiple times in a series like that. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, so I went back and checked because some of you guys were coming at me about the Dallas series. I checked Game 4 statistics. Kobe came out in the first quarter 5 of 7. The run happened in the second quarter, I remember. And I have to watch it to go back and see if he – I don't think he gave – he probably didn't because I would have remembered it. But, you know, that sounds similar to the Celtics series. But the start of the game is very important to assert yourself. Simple as. And Kobe did. And the Lakers had a decent first quarter. Who's softer, AD or Porzingis? Porzingis for sure. AD at least will dominate sometimes in the post. Although LeBron was your favorite player. When I was a kid, he was. Not after he tried to recruit Kawhi. Then I realized that he kind of went against everything I thought was a, you know, he went against. He showed me in that moment he was no better than Durant. He's willing to have the easy way, and I should have seen it when he went to Miami, but I was a biased fanboy. That's not correct, Few Boomer. Clippers have never won a series in 5 or less games. Not true. We won our first ever series against the Denver Nuggets in 5. But after that, yes, always 6 or 7 games. Hey, I think Kevin Abreu. I think this is the series. You're asking if to Marcus Cousins. I think that's a great point. This is the series where I think we need to bring Boogie out to pound him on the inside a bit. Michael Thompson, Carson Johnson? You asking about Michael Thompson, Clay's brother? Of course. I saw him play at Pepperdine multiple times. Even non-Laker fans are not blaming LeBron. And I think I'm just salty when blaming LeBron. I know it's so weak, Showtime, Nick. Don't worry, bro. You got to keep being you, and you got to keep seeing what you're saying because when Kobe lost, people used to grill his shit. And when stars lost and underperformed, they used to get gunned. Even more so in this era, but with stats, the fanboyism takes over. Can I see Dame Lillard leading the Blazers or not? No. I can see him getting traded maybe. But I don't know. He'd have to demand a trade. Yeah, I talked about the Bucks, Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy, aren't you the one that was talking trash about the Clippers? So how you like? Where are your Mavs at now, buddy? Where are your Mavs? Yeah, Carson, that was the opposite. I used to love LeBron, but he's not the same anymore. He's so arrogant now, and sometimes when he talks, he's not even being genuine anymore. Sometimes he's like he wants to tell you what you want to hear, and I can see through it every way. Even his tone sounds different in the past. But he can still be genuine sometimes. Like his exit interview this season was pretty genuine. Like he seemed like more old fashioned Braun. But sometimes he just be saying shit like it's so like I'm just trying to say it for people. He wants everybody to like him. That's his thing. Who's Raja Bell? Maniac Lane, man. You need to research your 2000s basketball, my G. He would actually be funny enough, perfect for this era. Like I couldn't think of a better player for this era than that. Raja Bell. Just 3 and D to a T, and a little bit of dirty with it too. He would have been perfect for this Suns team. You think he's more protected than Michael Jordan, Lake Show? LeBron? Is LeBron in the top 5 in the NBA right now? I would say no. I would say he probably still is. I mean, I'd still. Are we gonna say Jokic is a better player than LeBron? He's had a better season than him. Are we really gonna go there? I wouldn't say that. The only people I would think that can actually be better than LeBron right now, definitively, that I can actually compare. I need to see how LeBron comes back in the season before I'm talking about guys like Jokic, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry. That's it. That's all I got. Wait, I don't understand what you're saying, Omar. You said LeBron straight up quit on us. He didn't want to carry. He could have, but he quit at the same time. Oh, I see what you're saying, because Kobe pushed himself too far and tore his Achilles. I feel what you're saying. Yeah. Mike Conley is underrated. Good job, Bed-Stuy. Way to give us credit. Yeah, where's Montrader now? Montrader's on an early fishing trip. Just go and enjoy life, man. Yep, that's what I thought. Hey, Ty Baller. Luke, you're saying Luka's the entire Mavs franchise? I mean, Dirk was too. Why do you think Olowokandi was a bust and I couldn't be a star? Well, I haven't watched enough Olowokandi tape to answer that, but I heard Kareem say that I came to him to help him out and he didn't want advice. So if you're turning down the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, advice, you deserve to get kicked out of the NBA and never even mentioned anymore. That's how I feel about that. He was like, Olowokandi didn't want to listen, but Andrew Bynum did. Well, turns out, I mean, no surprise there. Andrew Bynum was a beast before he started getting ridiculous and he got traded. Prime Rondo or Prime Chris? Prime Chris. Thoughts on Hawks versus Sixers? How many games? I'm thinking Sixers in 7. Clippers, Suns, Western Conference Finals. Oh my God, that would be insane to play Chris Paul in the finals, in the conference finals, because the storyline's there. He's never made it. We've never made it. Who's going to get there first? But you know what the problem is? You ask me that, it gets me excited, and that's not what has to happen. We're playing Utah tomorrow. The Suns mean nothing. In the Western Conference Finals, I'm a virgin. Hey, Will. Everybody say hi to Will. If you guys watch that episode, say a shout out to him right now before we get off. What should the Mavs do with KP? Try to develop him into somebody who can play in the post. If he can't do that, trade his ass. But no one's going to take that freaking contract. But try to get him to take advantage of mismatches. If you run a Luka Porzingis pick and pop or pick and roll the whole time and they switch, dude, Porzingis needs to be able to take advantage of these 7-3 with a jumper. What do you think it will take for players to become competitive again instead of teaming up like the Avengers? It's going to take small market players to win a championship, like Giannis. But he may just lack the skill to do it. Or how about prime CP3? Oh, no, was it prime Peja Stojakovic in this era? I don't remember being a defensive star. Maybe I was too young to remember. I do remember him lighting up from 3. I mean, Peja would be great. I mean, he would just be firing. He'd have the ultimate green light. If LeBron didn't join the Lakers, do you think you'd still be a fan? I probably would. But I'm happy he did because it illuminated the light for me. I saw the light. I was biased before LeBron. I was biased. Now I see it. I see how the LeBron haters see it. And I'm not necessarily a hater. I just love the game and certain things that I was taught he goes against. He started this culture of teaming up with your friends and forming the super teams by themselves, collusion. So I'm happy that he came to the Lakers, so I lost my bias. Harden is never going to be better than LeBron to me, ever. Ever, Michael Todd. Ever. Ever. Imagine if C. Webb played in this era. I mean, imagine if a lot of guys played in this era. You saw Mark Price was tweeting today. He was saying I would have scored a lot of points in this era. Yep, Montrez and Cancun. Yeah, how KD is this good after a torn Achilles is crazy, Edgar Avila. I don't know. You think any drafts are rigged? To be honest, I don't know. There's been some shady stuff in the past, but do you believe the Brooklyn Nets will be fine without Harden? Yeah, I do. After seeing what they're capable of, I do. Well, we're already counting out the Sixers that quickly. No, okay, Showtime. I was talking about him going to the finals because if he made it in the conference finals, nobody's ever made it past that. Chris Paul nor the Clippers. Maybe our team will be gassed tomorrow, Jonathan. Very well could be, but it could work the other way. Jazz could be out of rhythm. We're ready to go. We're fresh. Players who should be traded this offseason, I don't know. It all depends what team we're talking about. I think Rondo will be playing a lot more in the Utah series. Hey, yeah, Showtime Nick. Will is, his dad is, he got a UCLA lineage. His dad went to UCLA and played there a couple years before Matt Barnes and Baron Davis. And then his grandpa is a UCLA, numbers retired and everything. So he knows those guys. He knows Matt Barnes, Baron Davis. So, yeah, you got to watch the episode, man. He's a great basketball fan and a good friend. Yes, of course I saw that play where Porzingis pulled up for three, and I started grilling him live. It was hilarious. Thoughts on OG Anunoby's development? I think he got a lot better. In terms of pure skill, Tim Duncan or Garnett? Tim Duncan for sure. Tim Duncan for sure. He's got better low post game, and he's got that mid-range bank. I know Garnett's got a cash mid-range too, but I think just overall passing, like everything, like Duncan, like so much skill, man. Just so much skill. It's a great debate, though, but I got Duncan. No, KD didn't fake his injury for Toronto to win. What are you talking about? No, I don't believe the Sacramento Kings will make the playoffs next year. I don't. How mad would you be if the Clippers lost to the? Okay, let's get to the conference finals first, please. Before I answer the hypotheticals, I'd be livid. There's your answer to if we lost to Glenn Rivers. Ty Baller, if Harden gets a season-ending injury down the road and the Nets still win, it does nothing for Harden's impact. It's just this is a different situation, a different team he came into, which was built, and they traded a lot for him, but they got Blake. And Claxton was kind of a revelation, so still a great team. I don't think that the refs are rigging games right now for you, Boomer. Yep, credits Ty. He actually made adjustments. Becky with the good hair. Yeah, I know. Call me Brown style, Gabrielle. How ecstatic were you when we won versus Dallas? The video's up. Go watch it yourself. Cheaters always win. It's up. Yeah, we got the situation under control. Yeah, Glenn Rivers definitely wouldn't have made the same adjustments, Cal Dominic. Is Bogdan Bogdanovic a power forward? No, he's not. It's a small ball basketball today. Dwayne Wade or Pierce? Dwayne Wade. I love me some Pierce, but Dwayne Wade. For sure. That 06, man, it's too big. Oh, Daniel Clifford. I couldn't stop laughing when you said when THJ checked back into the game. Dude, he's a chucker, and he's never going to be as good as his dad. I mean, it's just a fact. What's more important in the playoffs this year, offense or defense? It's always defense. But when you can score at the Nets level, you just got to get a couple stops. What do you think about the Jazz series, bro? I think we're in for a long night. I think it's going to be tough. If I had to pick, Jazz in 7. But Clips in 6. I don't know, man. We never win the second round, so maybe this is the year. I say that all the time, so I'm just going to go Jazz in 7 just because whenever I pick us to lose, we win. So I'm going to deal with that. I always pick the Clippers to win the series. I picked us against OKC. I picked us against the Warriors. I'm sorry, not the Warriors, the Rockets and the Nuggets. So I'm going to go with Jazz in 7. And maybe this year will be the one. Flippers lose to Jazz? You mean like the Lakers lost to the Jazz in 1998 when Kobe airballed? I haven't heard about cat rumors to Portland. I think that would be sick, though. That'd be awesome. The Kwame situation is hilarious. I love hearing him speak his mind. It's gotten crazy, though. I haven't seen all his videos. I can't even keep up. He's posting so much. Clippers in 6 versus the Jazz, Lake Show says. Okay. Luke Kennard getting more minutes for game 1? I definitely think so. He's proven it. He made huge shots in game 7. I forgot to mention him. He made huge shots. And Marcus Morris Sr. played big in the biggest game for his Clipper career. That was huge. After choking in Game 7 last year, he was amazing. He played so big. We needed him. He had a poor series shooting the ball too. Yeah, clutch. I don't like it, man. It's like you got a guy basically running an agency in LeBron as he's in the league. It's just ridiculous. No, I wouldn't. And it's not cool for D'Antoni to be the Portland coach. Kyle Dominic, no chance. Nobody. D'Antoni should never get hired again as a head coach. Who do I think will be the best sophomore next year? Maybe Anthony, but I think maybe Melo again. I think Melo will bounce back after that injury. Jazz, why do I think they're tough? Because they defend better than us. They have better rim protection, and they are a better three-point shooting team than us, and we're a three-point shooting team, and they have a good home court advantage. All right, I'm going to answer this question, and I'm going to go off because we're over an hour here. Which starting five wins? Magic. All right, there's your answer. The Magic one. Yeah, not the one with LeBron. No. Magic, Jordan, Bird, Duncan, and Kareem. Wrap it up, buddy. That's finished. All right, peace out, y'all.